Amazing. I'm Caroline. I am the Jewish Life Associate at Loyola, and also work with Metro Chicago Hillel doing Jewish life, social justice, interfaith work across Chicago. And we are going to just hop in to a yoga class, take about like 50 minutes or so. Right now on the Jewish calendar, it is Sukkot, which is a holiday that focuses on welcoming guests and vulnerability. We set up a type of hut outside, and so we're going to be thinking a little bit about nature and how we can connect back to the earth throughout our practice today. So we're going to just jump in. So if you can find a comfortable seated position, crisscross, however you prefer, sitting on your knees if that's what you like to do, and just close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Breathe. Just starting from the top of your head, just connect from the spine, connecting your sits bones to the ground, rocking back and forth until you can find a nice balance. Shake out your head, roll out your shoulders, do whatever you need to do, just to find a comfortable way to sit that doesn't put too much pressure on any of your muscles or bones. We're going to take a few deep breaths, inhaling in for 3, and out for 3, and in for 3, and out for 3. Just keep breathing on your own time. As you exhale, just imagine blowing away whatever stress you have, letting everything go. Just going to take a few minutes to connect to this practice. And when you're ready, open your eyes. We're going to just start making some little circles with our heads, stretching out your neck, noticing if there's any specific place you need to stop and stretch a little bit extra. Being kind to your body and creating space. Now we're going to circle our shoulders, bringing them up toward your ears and back, down, pulling your scapula down, creating space between your ears and your shoulders. Inhaling with your shoulders up and exhaling as they come down. Reverse the circle. Now we're going to start rocking side to side, raising one hand up and planting your other hand on the floor. Just create a soft stretch. As we come to center, we inhale. And as we stretch over, we exhale. Just keep moving with your own breath. Finishing your last cycle. And finding yourself to center. We're just going to walk our fingertips to the front. Find a soft stretch in your hips. Go with your neck. Let go of any tension you might feel. Walk your hands over to the right. Kissing your knee if you can. And over to the left. Remembering to breathe And back to your center. Throughout your practice, if you notice your mind wandering, just notice it and let that thought fly away. And try to connect back to your breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. We're going to go to a tabletop position on all fours, making sure that your shoulder is directly over your wrist and your knee is directly under your hip. And just rock around, noticing the weight in each of those 4 points of contact with the floor until you can find yourself exactly at center. And when you're ready, start making some small curves with your back. Exhaling as you curve your back. And inhaling as you create a curve of your spine. Keep moving at your own breath. No need to stay in the same pace as me. Just move however feels natural for you. If you'd like, you can make some circles with your spine, noticing if there's anywhere that you need a little extra attention. And circle in the other direction. And find your way back to center. We're going to push back into a child's pose, making sure that you leave space between your knees so that your body can fall in between the two. Reaching your fingertips as far as you can, keeping space in your shoulders and dropping your forehead to the floor. We're going to take 5 deep breaths here at your own pace, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Continue to breathe at your own speed. Just feel your body moving a little bit closer to the ground at every exhale. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Closing your eyes, just finding a moment of relaxation. When you're ready, you can join me back at a tabletop position. We're going to go through a flow. I'm going to explain it at one time, and then you can move through it at your own pace. So we're going to tuck our toes and push back into a downward facing dog, maintaining a micro bend in your knees and dropping your head. Then we're going to push all the way back into our tabletop position, and then untuck our toes and fall back into a child's pose. Taking an extra deep breath down here. And then we'll repeat this flow 3 more times. Going inhale to a tabletop. Exhale to downward dog. Up on your tiptoes, back to tabletop. And exhale to child's pose. Taking 1 more deep breath here. Coming back up to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then bring that in downward facing dog. We haven't moved too much, so you can keep your knees bent or do whatever you need to do to take care of your legs. And up to tabletop position. And back to down and down to child's pose. I'm going to flow through this 2 more times. Remembering to continue to breathe, deep breaths. And this time, meet me in downward facing dog when you finish the cycle. We're just going to take 3 deep breaths here and walk out our feet. Noticing where you need a little bit of an extra stretch, or if your body needs just a little bit of care. And when you're ready, we're going to walk up to mountain pose. Inhaling to flat back. Exhale back down. And inhale, roll up. Just find your space in mountain pose, standing, feeling the connection from the top of your head through the ceiling. Your hands are open, bringing in energy and light, and at the same time letting it out. Just find that comfortable standing position. Take a few deep breaths. Find something to look at far in the distance. And just clear your mind, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. We're going to go through a sun salutation A. So make your way to the front of the mat. We're going to inhale up and exhale down. Inhale flat back up and exhale down. Placing your hands on the floor, we're going to step back into a plank position. And take 3 deep breaths here. Recognizing how much strength and power we have. Now we're going to lower our knees to the floor and slowly lower yourself to lay flat on the floor. Relax your cheek on the ground. Relax your arms to your side and just breathe. You can close your eyes if you want. Connect back to that breath we found at the beginning of your practice. And when you're ready, we're going to tuck our toes and stretch our back up, shaking out your head, making space between your shoulders. And push back into a downward facing dog. And just walk your knees out. Go up on your toes, bend your knees, and you can step or jump to your hands. Finding a flat back, and releasing back down. Standing all the way back up to mountain pose. Shake it out, That was our first sun salutation of the day. We're going to do it one more time. You can keep on moving at my breath, or you can move at your own. Taking an inhale up and an exhale down. Flat back inhale and exhale down. Step back into a plank position. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Making sure to maintain space in your neck and in your shoulders. And slowly drop your knees to the floor and the body. Pushing right up to an upward facing dog. Shaking your head, making sure that you still have space, no tension, and push back into a downward facing dog. Walk your feet out. You can step or hop to the front of your mat. Finding your flat back and releasing back down. And coming back up. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to take a pause before doing our sun salutation B for some balances. So just take a second to connect back down to the floor, finding something to look at, something at least 10 feet out in front of you. We're going to just lift our right leg, hold it in our hands, make some circles with your ankles. Noticing if your heart rate is up, you can slow it with your breath. Circle your ankle the other way. Now we're going to place it in a tree pose. You can send it down right by your foot, on your calf, or if you'd like, up by your thigh, making sure not to send it on your knee because we don't want to put pressure on any joints. Maintain something to look at. And place your hands up by your sides, at heart center, up top, whatever feels comfortable to you. If you'd like a challenge, you can try closing your eyes, see if you can still balance. Making sure you still have space by your shoulders. Your scapula is pulling down. Your head is reaching up towards the sky. And when you're ready, you can come out of that practice. Switch to the other side. Start creating little circles. Remembering to observe your breath. Use it to slow your heart. When you're ready, you can place it to tree pose, either down by the floor, on your calf, or up on your thigh. Find a place for your arms to balance. If you find yourself wobbling, it's okay. Just pick up your foot again, try again. And when you're ready, release that practice. You come to the front of your mat. We're going to step back into a runner's lunge. Bring our arms up, maintaining length through the crown of our head. Pushing our heel back as much as we can and making sure that our knee is directly over our heel. Just find the stretch and the strength. And place your hands on either side. Take a deep breath here. We're going to press right back into a downward facing dog. This is our 6th down dog of the day. You should be able to stretch your legs a little bit more than you could before. Maybe you can get your head a little bit further through your arms. And when you're ready, we go up on our toes, bend your knees, and step or jump to the front of your mat. Flat back up, drop back down, and roll or swan dive back up. Now we're going to step our other foot back to a runner's lunge, making sure we have space in our shoulders, our heel is pressing back, and our knee is directly over our heel. Pushing ourselves to go a little bit further, but never stretching past pain. And when the stretch is enough, we can drop our arms to the sides. Take a few deep breaths here, making sure our hips are aligned. And push back into a downward facing dog. Walk your feet out. And up on your toes. And make it to the front of your mat. Beautiful. Now we're going to step into a warrior one, placing our heel on the floor, keeping our gaze towards the front. And again, making sure our knee is directly over our heel. Take 3 deep breaths here. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. One more breath here. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. Now we're going to rotate our hips to a warrior two position. Now both hips bones are going to be facing towards the long edge of your mat. Your gaze is over your front finger. We're going to flip our front hand, drop our back hand to our thigh, stretch back to a peaceful warrior. And flow to a side angle. And if the stretch becomes too much for you, you can always take a little breather, stretching your leg into a triangle. Back to a peaceful warrior. Inhale. Exhale the side angle. Stretch both legs to the side. Make a big star. Bring in all of the energy in through your heart, sending it out through your fingertips. And find a resting place. Stretching out your hips, rocking side to side. Come back into a star, then down into a goddess, maintaining that strong heart space. Back to a star. This time, rotate your toes to the floor and drop down for a stretch. Stretching just how far you can. That feels good. Remembering you can always maintain some bend in your knees if you need. And dropping your head. Nod your head yes. Shake it no. Let gravity help you in your stretch. Take one more deep breath. And when you're ready, you can heel toe your feet together. And do that from the other side. So stepping into a warrior one position, keeping both hips toward the side of your mat and your arms up, your legs strong. Take 3 deep breaths here. And shift your hips to a warrior two position. Your knee is still tracking right over your big toe. Your hips are squared to the front. Your gaze is over your finger. Dropping your back arm, flipping your front palm. Follow your gaze as you stretch back to a peaceful warrior. And down to a side angle. Back to a peaceful warrior. And down to a side angle. Back to center to stretch up to a star. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths here in your own time. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. And exhale. I'm going to flat back straight down into a wide-legged forward fold. Bending your knees if you'd like. Keeping them straight if you want. Feel free to hug your elbows and just rock side to side. When you're ready, heel toe your way back to the center of your mat. Flat back up and drop back down. And come back up to mountain pose. We're almost there. We're going to go into a chair pose, so reaching up to the sky, maintaining alignment. We're going to go down, making sure that we keep our body up as much as we can, seeing if we can just pretend we're sitting in a chair. Inhaling your body up, exhaling your legs down. And come out of it. One more time, inhale up, exhale into chair. Keeping strong legs, active upper body. Stand up. Now we're gonna forward fold. Step our feet back into a plank position. This is our last plank of the day, make it strong. 3 deep breaths here. Drop down. Push up into your upward facing dog. Send your hips into a downward facing dog, and from here, we'll just put our weight on the top of our toes and slowly set yourself down to a seated position. Take a few deep breaths. You can close your eyes. Slow your heartbeat. Beautiful. As you open your eyes, we're going to stretch arms out to the side, drop one arm behind, and one reaches up to clasp from the back into cow face position. If you can't reach all the way, it's okay. You can just touch your back. Opening your heart. Finding a steady breath. Beautiful, shake it out. Reaching your other arm up over your head and down below. Finding a way to clasp or just rest your hands on your back. One side might be a little bit less flexible than the other, you might notice. That's okay. Taking a few deep breaths. Beautiful. We're going to make our way to a pretzel position. So one leg is bent in and the other you can place up on top. If that's not comfortable for you, you're always welcome to keep your legs rested or crisscross. But if you can, wrap one arm around and sit straight up on the inhale. And on the exhale, just twist. You want to make sure you're twisting from your spine and not your neck. Again, on your inhale, stretch up. And on the exhale, twist. Finding that spiral from the root of your spine. Last time, inhale straight, and exhale, twist. Coming out of that position, just stretch that leg out to the side, reach up and stretch down, flexing your foot, keeping your back strong. And on your exhale, release over. And coming back up, reaching up to the sky. On the inhale, stretch up. And on the exhale, stretch over. Remembering to keep space on your side body. And maintaining that leg come up. And we're going to shift into a pigeon pose. Taking your choice whether you want your toe to be rounded or not, whether you find more of a stretch with your foot in by your side or parallel to your mat. When you find a position that's comfortable for you, you can just stretch down and relax. Dropping your head, relaxing your neck, and slowing your breath. Relaxing your forehead on the floor or on the top of your hands. Just breathe. And close your eyes. And when you're ready, you come back to seated and find your pretzel on the other side. Giving your knee a little hug. Noticing the sensation of that crease. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale the spiral. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale the spiral. Taking a few more deep breaths at your own time. And release out of that practice, stretching that foot out to your side, reaching up to the sky, turning to face it, flexing your foot, and releasing down. Again, as we inhale, we find length And as we exhale, we go deeper into our stretch. Taking care to drop your head, release any tension, and maintain space in your shoulders and neck. And slowly making your way back up, you stretch up and stretch down to the side. Welcome to release an elbow onto the floor if you'd like. Reach your toes. Ensure you're always maintaining space in that shoulder. You're always welcome to put your hand on your hip. You don't want so much leverage. Beautiful. And now we're going to shift right into a pigeon pose. Your choice whether you want to keep this knee tight or if you want to stretch it parallel to your mat. Either way, when you find a comfortable position, just walk your hands down, release your head, relax deeper into that stretch. Taking a few more deep breaths there. With every exhale, just going a little deeper into the floor. Every inhale, creating more length and more space. And when you're ready, make your way back to seated with your legs straight out in front of you in a staff position. Inhaling up and exhaling down over your legs. Inhaling up to make length and down to stretch deeper. And finally, just come back to seated. We're going to bend our knees, do a few abs on our way down. So we're going to spiral to the right and then the left, then up and then touch a toe. And do that again with the other side. Right, left, up, toe. And slowly make your way all the way down to lying on your back in Shavasana. As you move deeper into Shavasana, you want to find the position that's the most comfortable for you, and then close your eyes. You have your palms facing up towards the sky. Allow your legs to drop outward if that's what feels most comfortable. Close your eyes and just relax. With each exhale, going a little bit deeper into the floor. Taking this time to slow your breath and taking a moment to celebrate the fact that you made it to your mat today. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Take a deep breath in, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, Continuing to breathe, counting to 5. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Because it's Sukkot, and in Sukkot we think about how we can make ourselves more vulnerable to keep on learning and growing. Just want you to take a moment to think about the space that you're in and how it can make you better. Notice, with your eyes still closed, the sensations around you, the feeling of the mat or the towel that you're laying on, how strong the floor is underneath that, and other sensations that you might feel. Take a moment to notice the smells around you. See if you can notice 3 specific smells. What are the textures in your space? Sensation of your fabric of your shirt or your pants. Now take a moment to notice the sounds around you. You hear a sound in your room, maybe outside your window or in a different part of your building. Now zoom back in. Notice the feelings in your own body. Are you warmer than you were at the beginning of this practice? Can you feel your heartbeat? Just continue to breathe, noticing the sensation of the air coming in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now we're going to slowly start waking our body back up, starting with the movement in our fingers. You can keep your eyes closed and just wiggle your fingers, starting to bring sensation and movement back into your body. Now let that movement move into your toes, wiggling your toes, maybe scrunching them up, stretching them out. Make some little circles in your wrists and ankles. When you're ready, you can roll over to your side, using your elbow as a pillow, keeping your eyes closed. Just breathe. Enjoying those last moments of relaxation. Noticing how your body feels different now. And when you're ready, you push yourself up to seated position, resting your wrists on your knees. And finally, starting to blink your eyes open. Take 2 more deep breaths together, in through your nose, and out through your mouth, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. It's a beautiful day. The sun is really shining. It's not even cold out. I hope that you can find a moment today to get some sunshine in you and enjoy the weather. Thank you for practicing with me. Happy Sukkot.
Thank you so much, Caroline. I really appreciate your time. If anyone has any questions that they want to stick around and ask, we've got about 2 minutes. Otherwise, thank you all so much for joining us for this session.
Thank you, Robin.
Thanks, Caroline. Hag Sameach.
Hag Sameach. Happy Sukkot.
All right. Thank you so much, Caroline. I appreciate your time.
Of course. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.